everyone. It's Friday, April 21st, 2017. Welcome to the 6th episode of ETV Magazine, Eisenhower's source for news, entertainment, and sports. I'm your anchor, Cameron Bradley. Starting off this episode, we have a story on something that hits close to home for the journalists here at Eisenhower, Donald Trump and the media. Ever since Trump decided to run for president, it seemed like there was always tension between him and the media, mocking reporters, and probably one of the most popular topics, fake news. Fake news is spread like wildfire, and almost everything you hear from the news now, you have to double check with other sources to see if it is factual or not. Is this all true, though? Are reporters truly going out of their way to report on President Trump falsely, or does President Trump just not like the topics that are being reported about him? ETV Magazine reporter Greg Wright tries to shed some light on the subject as he talks with a former journalist from the Wichita Eagle, as well as our own head of the journalism department and others about the controversial topic.
Today, the media is everywhere. On your phones, TVs, or radios. You can almost always hear or see a new news story wherever you go. But with fake news becoming an issue, people have to be careful about what they believe.
I think it's important. Reporters have to be objective, not agenda-driven. Your job is one and only, pursue the truth and report it.
Journalism is in a state of flux. What's real, what's not? Where are teens getting their information from? What's fake news? Are there different types of fake news? Which is ridiculous.
I know there's a bunch of fake news sources out there. I can use my own source in an argument, and let's say I'm using Fox News against somebody who watches NBC. They'll just refute my source if I refute theirs by saying it's fake. It's really not an argument you can win, whether fake news is fake or not.
No, everything is not always true, but everything is not always fake either. So you kind of just have to make sure that your sources are reliable and you're not just believing what you see on Facebook.
Trump versus the media has become a huge topic in the past couple of months, with him bashing the press and calling them fake news. Many journalists are not happy about this. Others think that the media needs to take it easy on Trump.
Once again, I think he's a little partial to news that supports him, and news that doesn't support him is what he's kind of calling his fake news. So
I think they're not giving him any leeway at all. There's an extreme bias either to the left or to the right. Obviously the right's going to give him more leeway, but the left, they just keep attack. Like, they're not giving him a single chance at all, and I believe, hey, everybody deserves a chance.
I've never seen a president do that before. They've argued with the press, but just kind of dismiss them. Shut up, you're just fake news. You're not even good reporters. What I think, that's disturbing, but I think, again, it's even more disturbing when some of the public goes, yeah, that's just fake news. They don't check for themselves.
Many people differ on their solutions for this problem between Trump and the media.
No, hold the press accountable too. They need to be. There are those who make mistakes unintentionally, and there are those who, just by the words they use, can slant a story. What I would suggest, though, that it's important that the press take a step back. Don't let themselves get spun out of control, which I see is happening a little bit too much.
We have to fight back somehow. It's too easy for the public to say that's fake news. What do we go? Oh, I'm sorry. We have to have something. We have to be able to stand up to that.
For ETV Magazine, I'm Greg Wright.
Up next here on ETV, we continue our retirement series where we sit down with a certain Eisenhower staff member to get their thoughts about their experience with Tiger Nation. This time we sit down with Mrs. Pote, an English teacher here at Eisenhower that has been teaching for 31 years. ETV Magazine reporter Lisa McGaffin sits down with Mrs. Pote to get the scoop on her time here at Eisenhower.
It was like the best year that you've had.
The year we opened Eisenhower High School. It was just such a beautiful, brand new facility. We brought over amazing staff members and administrators, and of course the best kids. It was just a fun year to really be at the start of something new, something big, starting traditions, and that was a fun time. That was my favorite year, I think.
Okay, so how long have you been teaching here at EHS?
Since it opened.
6 years.
So 6 years, yeah.
Did you enjoy teaching?
I have loved almost every minute of it. I love my content area. I love, English grammar. I love literature. And it just thrills me when I can reach out and have a kid kind of get in on that thrill with me. And sometimes they teach me things. Sometimes they bring up things I never would have thought of. They ask questions I can't answer, which I enjoy. Then we have to go kind of search for the answers together. It's fun.
So what inspired you to kind of start teaching?
I think I was born bossy. I was a very bossy playmate. I remember being that way and not being able to stop. I remember my mom telling me, Jana, you need to not quite be so bossy. So I tried, but I really just kind of always wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to tell everybody where to be and what to do and how to do it because I knew best.
What will you miss most about when you leave?
It'll be kids. I just love interacting with them. I love getting them excited about things.
Okay, so what do you plan on leaving behind for the students?
Leaving behind? Well, my couches. I am leaving behind my comfortable classroom, but it's not just about the couches. It's about the legacy of school can be a place of comfort and safety and happiness, and that's kind of the legacy I want to leave behind. My students were loved.
For ETV Magazine, I'm Elisa McGaffin.
There's never been a lack of variety with classes here at Eisenhower, trying to get as many choices as possible for students to enjoy their time in high school. With that being said, the administration is bringing in a few more new classes next year, including an ACT prep class and another class for incoming freshmen called Success 101. Not a whole lot is known about this class, so we sent reporter Jaden Van Sickle to get some information on Success 101.
Next year's freshman class will be required to take a new class called Success 101. It will teach helpful skills on how to get through high school and further on. Anything from career pathways to mental stability to just dealing with stress will be taught through Success 101.
We have identified the fact that high school can be difficult, especially with freshmen coming in. They seem to be overwhelmed with lots of things, and we're trying to establish a class that would be beneficial to them to learn all of the things that they need to know to be successful high school students.
I'm expecting things if you need help in other classes, or maybe certain ways of problem solving, things like that.
Dating, violence, or how to work on social media effectively, bullying. There's so many different things that we're going to be covering that hopefully will help them. And we can give them the coping skills that they need and the strategies they need to be a more successful high school student.
Students who will be in Success 101 believe the class will be helpful to them.
I think it will be a good idea, but I really don't know the real answer because I've never been in high school. But from what I've heard, I think it's going to be pretty good and helpful. If it wasn't mandatory, I would probably take it because there were some things that I put on for my electives and such that didn't really sound like something I do, but Success 101 does.
With the new class beginning next year, teachers and administration will be looking for ways to improve over time.
I think some students will blow it off and think that it won't help them in their future, and I think other students will take it more serious and think it's more important to them.
Right now we're starting it with freshmen, and we will then decide whether we want to open it up. We have had some interest from Miss Alexander, from Miss Blue, and a new teacher that will be joining us next year.
For ETV Magazine, I'm Jaden Van Sickle.
And now time for one last thing. For the seniors. Senior breakfast will be on May 12th at Pathway Church in Goddard from 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Cost for tickets is $5, and tickets will be sold a week in advance during lunch or in the office. There will be a raffle for prizes held during the breakfast. Your ticket is your chance to win. Be there, seniors. Well, that does it for me in news. Don't go anywhere, though, because right after the commercial break, Austin Antoldi will serve up a special at the table in his segment, Oh Yeah. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to the most entertaining Oh Yeah ever. I'm your host, Austin Antoldi. Let's get rolling. Now, everyone knows about the Drama Club, but what about thespians? The Thespian Honor Society is highly respected for young actors in high school. But what does it take to be a thespian? Reporter Alexis Cuban finds out.
Theater takes a large part in our school. Many students are dedicated to the craft and spend long hours behind the scenes and on the stage. Some even have the opportunity to become thespians.
A thespian is somebody who puts their heart and soul in the theater and dedicates it to that.
Okay, so as a thespian, when you become a thespian, it's kind of like the National Honor Society for theater. So it looks really good on, obviously, applications and things like that. But then we also do some volunteer opportunities throughout the year within the community.
A thespian to me is someone who's dedicated to theater and really puts in the work and effort to see a show or a production just come together.
A thespian is the highest level of acting you can get.
As a thespian, you attend thespian conference once a year. A thespian gets to meet new people, gain acting experience, and have fun doing what they love.
You have the opportunity to go to thespian conference in January every year, where they attend multiple different workshops led by, guest artists all around the United States that are professionals in theater, and they get to learn lots of different trades that you can do with theater itself, which is really cool.
There's a bunch of workshops and stuff that help you become a better thespian and help you in the areas that you like if you are more of somebody who works backstage, then it helps you with that, or somebody who works on stage, then it helps you with that. And it also shows you, it's like a way to meet a bunch of other thespians and just have like a get-together, and it's really fun, except there's like a lot of people.
In order to be a thespian, a student has to have 10 points, which is equivalent to 100 hours spent between the stage and crew.
Usually about an hour a day, so times that by all the stuff, it's quite a lot.
A lot of hours.
It's a great experience, and you get to be a role model to the underclassmen, so they really look up to you, and it's really cool.
For ETV Magazine, I'm Lexi Cuban.
Well, I guess it really is worth it to be a thespian. I'm actually one myself. Now, let's move on. Wycliffe Gordon, a famous jazz artist, came to Eisenhower High School on March 30th to perform with the Goddard and Eisenhower jazz bands, and he brought with him some real soul and culture not usually seen here at Eisenhower. Also included in the show was a legacy big band from here in Kansas that played some incredible tunes that everyone sure enjoyed. This was definitely a show for the books. Many students were honored to play with such a renowned jazz artist here at Eisenhower. Hopefully we can see Wycliffe Gordon again sometime soon. All right, I think it's safe to say that y'all don't need a clock to know what time it is. That's right, it's time for a special episode of At the Table. Enjoy. Welcome to the 8th edition of At the Table. We're here at Ecclesia's to review some coffee and an Ecclesia cookie.
How did I get here?
Alright Noah. I just didn't want At the Table to end, so I decided to travel through time and space to come back to Ecclesia's where it all started.
Well, since we're here, we might as well, let's review some food.
Alright, let's do it. Wait. We've already reviewed this.
Noah, you scared the cameraman. Sorry, Fergie, but you know what I'm saying, right? We've already done this. They don't want to watch us review the same stuff. Do you remember when we shot here at the table the first time? Yes. Man, good memories. We were so excited. We were starting something new for ETV, a new legacy. I enjoyed the John Browns. John Browns were pretty dope. It was before we had any guest stars or anything. It was straight off the books, trying to do normal journalism, but then we ate our food a little weird.
That episode was so good, we had to make another one. So we went to Hertz Donut.
Yeah, we rated on Beyonce's because donuts have halos.
I remember when I got that Slim Shady. I didn't understand why it was a Slim Shady at first, but then I did. I learned something that day.
There's M&Ms on it.
That's right. All in all, it was a delicious episode, and I was so happy that we did it. That was a good start to At the Table, but then our senior year kicked off with season 2 of At the Table. We decided to bring in guest stars.
Like the famous Arnold Delgado, Cameron Bradley, Mason Matzi, and Throny Pepperoni.
Just to name a few. For this episode, we brought in Arnold and Brooke, and we went to the fair. It was really good. We had funnel cake.
And big turkey leg.
That's right. You know, it's just so creative to have a giant turkey leg. You know, just so creative.
So creative.
It was a good episode nonetheless, and it started a good legacy.
But there was something a little off. Episode 2, Season 2. we brought in the first junior ever to be on At the Table and the only junior, Throny Pepperoni. That episode was awesome. We had our own private room in the back of Picasso's. They gave us our own little set, and we just went for it with our giant slices of pizza.
It was a good episode, and I'm very glad that we went.
This cookie reminds me of when I went to Sugar Sisters. I had a sugar cookie, cinnamon roll, and it was good. We went with the one and only Mason Madsey and Chastity DeBoard.
God, they were funny. Probably some of my favorite cast people we've ever had on the show.
They were an interesting bunch. We went to a park, ate sweets. It was a delicious episode.
Our next episode in season 2 was a very political one. We had the Queen and Mr. President. We went to Lotus Leaf Cafe, a really healthy restaurant, not very common here in Kansas. And it was actually really good. I enjoyed myself, Austin enjoyed himself, and our 2 very presidential candidates enjoyed themselves.
It was very delicious. I like my turkey burger. Just look at me bite into it.
For this episode, we went to Reuben's, and we brought along Cameron, who made a big mess. Just look at him messing all over himself. He just can't control himself. But that's okay, at least he was having fun. And then Isabella Rossellini did a good job too. All in all, it was a great Mexican restaurant experience. I will go again indefinitely. Well, I'm Austin.
And I'm Noah.
And this is The Last at the Table. Signing off for the last time.
The last time.
This is the last time.
Or is it?
I wonder if At the Table is actually over. Well, that finishes things up for this. Oh yeah? I hope you all enjoyed. Coming up next is Sam Diebler with your sports report. So don't go anywhere.
Hey, remember the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle! Woo!
Hello, welcome back to Ike Sports, your source for everything sports here at EHS. I'm Sam Diebler. It's spring sports season, and to start off, we'll be talking about tennis. Many key players are returning from last year's state championship team, including Colin Anderson, Tyler McGreevy, and Luke Howard. Can the Tigers make a repeat at state this year with so much talent returning? I went down to the court to get the answers.
The Eisenhower boys tennis team has started the season strong and looks to have similar goals as the team last year when they won their first state championship in team history.
I'd say the expectations are definitely to win state because we did it last year, and it's going to be a lot tougher, but I think we can.
I think the main expectation is to just reach our potential, but I think for this team, their potential is good enough for us to compete for a state championship again. Just trying to every day focus on what can each player do to really reach what they can do the best this year.
Hope that we can get through the first round of regionals and get to state.
They will have to accomplish their goals without graduates Ian Ferris, Colin McHugh, and Lazar Vlahovic, all of whom were key players on last year's team.
It's kind of hurt our team unity because we are all just kind of best friends. But the other guys that stepped in are doing really good, and we should be able to do good this year if they step up.
It'll definitely be tougher this year as we lost 3 members, but we still have a shot with Colin and Tyler back in and some decent players coming in to fill the spots.
While the team is strong, it is not without flaws.
Lower teams, it's consistency. They flash, and look like they're good enough than their high varsity teams, but the mistakes they make are the consistency issues. And our top teams really just need to boost their ceiling by being able to be comfortable hitting the bigger shots that we know they can hit and they hit in practice. But in those pressure-filled moments sometimes, such at the high school level, there's a big difference between saying, I know I can hit that shot, and having confidence to hit that shot.
Next up is baseball. The team has lost several key players, but that has not changed the expectations. However, with a late start to the season due to the weather and a new pitching rule brought into high school baseball this year, there has not been a lack of challenges for this team. Ike Sports reporter Michael Greeting gets you the story.
The baseball team this season are changing their play style to accommodate for the loss after last season.
We're going to have to play way more as a team this year. We've kind of been individuals in the past, but this year we're really going to have to step up as a team and play.
Just a lot younger. Last year we had, I think, 10 seniors,
and most of them started.
Last year, we had a lot of senior starters that were out on the field, and all 10 of those guys went on and played collegiately. This year, we have one guy going on right now that's going to play collegiately, but we have, we're going to be a lot younger on the field than we were last year.
The team lost many key seniors after last year and are looking to underclassmen to step up and take on bigger roles.
Parker Wenzel as a freshman, I think, looking for him to step up.
I'm looking for like Wade Reynolds to step up and have an impact. A couple of the freshmen that made the varsity team, looking for them to make an impact right off the bat. Andrew Newsom, looking at him, he has a new role this year of being a first baseman, a corner guy, and a pitcher.
This year there is a new pitching rule that's affecting high school teams and their pitchers.
There's going to have to be a lot more people pitching in games. We used to run a 4-man staff that pitched every single game, but this year, we're going to have a full staff this year versus 4 players.
I don't know if it's really going to affect much. We're lucky out of our 39 guys, 31 can throw. So we have a lot of arms, a lot of guys that can do things. So I don't really see it being much of a deterrent for us.
For Ike Sports, I'm Michael Greening.
Finally, we have girls soccer. The team has been dominant in their own league for several years now. However, they have struggled to get over the hump of the regional championship and make it to state. What are they trying to do to change that? IKE Sports reporter Logan Mackey finds out the news on the soccer team.
The girls soccer team has proven to be better than last year's team. With having significant wins against teams like Goddard and North, this team has proven to be a dominant force.
So we have a really good offensive team. We flow really well in the midfield and with the forwards because we've all played together. There's a lot of returning starters, so our attack is very, very good.
Okay, we have a little bit less experience with our freshmen, so it's going to take a little bit of time to get the flow going, but I think once we do, I think we'll be a really great team.
With every team, there's a weakness within, and the girls' weaknesses are easily shown on the field.
We are fairly short as a team. Physical presence in the box might be one of the weaknesses that we have. Make sure that we don't put ourselves in those situations where that can be taken advantage of.
And communication, we can always talk more. Sometimes we communicate really well, but sometimes we just need to be louder.
Even with the weaknesses they have, they still hope to come back and have a successful postseason and return to the regional championship.
I think that they're really nerve-wracking games, and it's obviously a higher risk game than the regular season games, so I think that we just kind of crack under pressure, but this year I feel like we're ready and we have the team to make it past the regional championship.
Really, postseason play is when we start playing our best, I think, because then we really know how to play with our teammates. And I think we can come back this year and win a regional title.
Just play hard, and because it could be a last game, so just leave it all out on the field.
For IKE Sports, I'm Logan Mackey.
That wraps it up for IKE Sports. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at IKE Sports News for everything sports here at EHS. For IKE Sports and ETV Magazine, I'm Sam Diebler, and we will see you next time.